When we think of the transition, the energy transition, it has to be a just transition. There's a whole lot of people out there without energy, and I think we really need to also be looking down the road to make sure that nobody is left behind, basically. And I like what you say there about pragmatism and realism, and I suppose in a way back to basics. But the genius and the expertise that is in this industry is capable of so much. Talk to me just a little bit of that while we're on that, because there's a war on talent out there as well. It's about bringing people into this industry, keeping them in the industry, and again, making sure that you all grow together to, deliver the energy that the world needs. How are you coping with that, and how do you think the industry needs to cope?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, this industry has a great workforce, both professional staff and the craft professionals that do the real work. But the talent challenge is really significant, and there's unprecedented competition from other industries. Labor shortages are kind of a new phenomenon. If you look at all the past crises of the world, there was never a labor shortage on top of it, and so that really makes the talent challenge kind of a big one that everybody's wrestling with. It requires partnering with labor in different ways. It requires working with workforce development agencies, community colleges. Companies just need to invest in skills training. They just can't assume it's happening. They need to really get involved and be a part of the investment of it. You're hearing a lot of companies talk about diversity and inclusion, but the fact is, if we're not tapping into diverse talent pools, we're not going to meet the talent challenge. And by that I mean diverse talent pools in whatever diversity means in every location. But it's just absolutely critical. Maybe the last thing I'll say that I think this industry needs to do is, in order to attract talent in the 2020s and get the best and brightest, industry has to have a compelling sense of purpose. And when you think about this industry, I'm not sure we do this as well as we should, but I mean, we have people solving the world's toughest, most consequential challenges, and global security, economic development, environmental responsibility. I just can't think of an industry that's more impactful, and we've got to really create that sense of purpose to attract people into the industry.
You're absolutely right. I mean, without a doubt, it is, I often say, the most important industries in the world. It's about keeping the lights on. It's about keeping every other industry going, making sure that, we can deliver health services, finance services, that we can even have a bit of fun. It has that importance. But given that importance too, it's also, been hampered over the last couple of years too, in terms of supply chain issues. Is that still going on, or, where do you see that, particularly towards the end of the year? How can we solve that?
Yeah, I first of all, I think that, the supply chain disruptions and constrained supply chains, it's not just a 2022 issue. It had been creeping up on us. It's really reared its head, obviously, during a pandemic. So that's really exacerbated it. But, we're seeing supply lines being redrawn around the world for a lot of reasons, and it's pretty cumulative impact. And I think volatility is the new norm. And at least in our company, and I think a lot of companies would agree, there are a few real keys to success. First of all, like never before, you have to know your supply chain in detail, all tiers of it. You got to know everything about them and what their challenges are, and what they're facing. Track what's happening in the world, globally and locally, what risks are emerging. You have to constantly be reassessing your sourcing strategy and creating optionality. And I mean, for all materials, equipment, services, every category. Supplier quality. If you don't have a robust supplier quality program, you're not going to have quality. It's that integral. And another thing I think we need to do, and we've been really focused on this, is moving our relationship and how we interface with the supply chain from a transactional one to a relational one, with way more communication. You can't just manage and mitigate risks by passing it along to the supply chain. You got to get involved. You got to be part of the solutions. I just think that's the way of the world. And I just don't see that I don't see that changing right now. It's, supply chain is like the lifeblood of what we do.
And of course, one place to talk about that too will be at Gastech. When you're talking about that communication. And just to close off here, I get the feeling it's like it's been a while since the industry has really come together. And we look at heading to Gastech this year in particular, probably more than ever. How important do you think, this event is coming up in September?
Yeah. Energy is at the center stage of the world's challenges and solutions. And it's probably the most uniquely challenging time in our history. And I know that might sound cliche, but I think it is very unique. Having to deliver energy security and energy transition at the same time, I just can't think of a more intricate, complex time when it was more fitting for the leaders of the industry to assemble and talk about how we're going to solve these tough energy and environmental challenges in a way that's economically sustainable, improves quality of life, respects cultures, protects the environment. So it's just a great time. And by the way, I know it's Gastech's 50th year. It's on the eve of Bechtel's 125th year. And I do want to say that we're really proud to be a silver sponsor this year and to talk with all of our customers and partners and suppliers about what we're doing to help our customers around the world solve these problems. So we're really excited. Can't wait.
And Craig, it's great to have you on board. We're really looking forward to having you there and to making sure that we hear what you're talking about. And as you say, for you to meet all your customers and make sure everybody comes together, again, all to work together towards solutions in this industry, because those headlines have been a bit scary over the past year. I think we need to hopefully reverse those and make sure that the world knows and the consumer knows that there's a strong industry here and a strong industry that's doing its best for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely agree with that.
Super. Okay, we're going to leave it there. I really want to thank you so much for taking the time, the President and the Chief Operating Officer of the Bechtel Group. Craig Albert, thank you for being with us.
Yep, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing everybody there.
Indeed, and to all of you watching, of course, we're looking forward to mark that calendar and be making your bookings right now. That is the 5th until the 8th of September. We're all heading to Milan in Italy, and we sincerely hope we'll see you there for this very important conversation. Thanks so much.